if you want some, but you ain't bad enough, so you can't take none. I'm Big Snoop Dogg, and I'm the only one. And when it comes to...
Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles as they take on Dak Prescott and the defending NFC East champs, the Dallas Cowboys. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. A moment ago, here was the scene with the Cowboys emerging from their tunnel. It was loud. It's still loud. We're ready for football as the Cowboys get set to match up with Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. Seated next to Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, this one featuring a couple of playoff teams from a season ago, back at it again in 2019.
And we both felt the confidence from both of these teams, right? They feel like they will be back in the playoffs again, but they shouldn't be overconfident. 7 teams last year made the playoffs that didn't make it the previous year, so you're not assured of going back year after year.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Carson Wentz in his 4th season now out of North Dakota State, ready to bring out this Eagles offense. And he's had to sit and watch Nick Foles under center during Philly's last 2 playoff runs. So health will be a key for Wentz in 2019, no doubt. This is the former Nittany Lion, the rookie Miles Sanders. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Cowboys and Eagles, of course, such a great rivalry. Last year, the Cowboys got the better of the Eagles both times that they met, with Philly coming off their Super Bowl title. But in weeks 10 and 14, it was Dallas beating Philly by a single possession. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Ram. Alert 3. 357. Watch twits.
Here's Wentz to throw. He's got the hook up here to Deshaun Jackson. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
Well, I don't mean to jump in on you, partner, but they didn't waste any time getting downfield, did they? I mean, a nice big play there.
3 plays, 3 successful plays in plus territory. Now this defense on its heels a bit.
It seems like they had something targeted there, doesn't it? It's like, okay, we've got a matchup we like coming right out of the gate. Let's go ahead and get right to it.
They'll run with Sanders. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line. We'll look now at our starting defense. And they're currently 21st, Charles, in the NFL against the run.
This is an area of the game that they definitely have to improve because right now, against the pass, top 10 in the league. But against the run, that's where the struggles have come in. Got to find a way to make sure they stop runners before they get started.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Once again with Sanders. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4 down territory.
This is 3rd and goal now. 80,000 on their feet here in Arlington. They'll try to run with Sanders. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Miles Sanders with his first career NFL touchdown. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. This is a crew. They've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you're really out here in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. You know, get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Cowboys under head coach Jason Garrett as they get set for their first opportunity. It's the Mississippi State product at quarterback. Calling the shots will be Dak Prescott.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Zach Brown making his presence felt in the backfield.
We talked about prior to the game, and it played out right there on the first play, didn't it? This offensive line is going to have his hands full all night long.
Now, you often speak of scripts to start a game. Does this mean that play number 2, they're going to go off the script a little bit?
Yeah, what's interesting is that most people, when they script now, they actually script those contingencies in, okay, in case they can't run the play they want to. It's long distance now. Let's go to that play.
Limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21. And the offensive starters for Dallas.
It's so good to see big number 72, Travis Frederick, back in a Cowboys uniform. Remember, he missed all of last season with Guillain-Barré syndrome. And prior to that, he'd been to the Pro Bowl 4 straight times at center. And his return, a huge boost to the offensive line. Better to have him in uniform than coaching.
He's got his target. It's Cobb. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd.
Let's go.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Elliott. And he'll be down at the 46. So they go from 146 to the other on a pickup of 8. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll try the right side with Elliott. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Time to peek at the defensive starters. Here they are for Philadelphia. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
I jotted down in my notes in prepping for this game that this is definitely an area we got to keep an eye on, because you talk about where they rank in stopping the run. But how about what they're facing? This unit loves to run the football, and they rank highly in the league in getting it done.
Yeah, power against power. Something's got to give.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
Here now, Brett Maher. He hit from 62 in his rookie season of 2018. This was the old NFL record distance for decades, a 63-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. course, the door for Maher was opened after a little bit of a surprise move, the Cowboys letting go of Dan Bailey last year.
Yeah, Maher took over in the preseason. He's from Nebraska via the Canadian Football League, where he kicked for 4 years. And I saw him personally make 2 game-winning field goals last season against Detroit and in Atlanta.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They'll run with Sanders. He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. Throwing his Wentz. He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. How about 25 yards on 3rd down? They'll take it. And that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets.
He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Leighton Vander Esch wreaking havoc with a sack.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
After the sack on 1st down, Wentz under pressure again, and down he goes again. DeMarcus Lawrence, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Now Wentz. Urtez at left side. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Well, a heck of a play there on 3rd down, but amazingly, they're still short for 4th.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent game. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
Let's go. Let's go.
Well, we've got a good divisional battle here tonight in the NFC East. Tomorrow night, we get one in the AFC East. The Patriots and the Jets. Monday Night Football, MetLife Stadium. Coverage at 8:15 Eastern Time. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now Prescott. He gets it over the middle to Cobb. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Ball on the 30, they'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Elliott. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. For Zeke, what a first 3 years he's had in the NFL. Last year, his 2nd rushing title, 1,434 yards. Not as many as 1,631 that he had as a rookie, but still his yards per game average was the best in the National Football League. A lane opens up that time as he'll be brought down just short of a 1st after a gain of about 9. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. From the 45 on second down, Prescott. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. The Cowboys' all-time receptions leader, Jason Witten, the intended target. And it's 3rd and short. They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And an alley to run. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. Give them 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. First opportunity in the red zone for the Cowboys. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. This is Elliott. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. So not quite a 1st and goal just yet as they come up now 2nd and inches. Prescott to throw it. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive, and how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
Brett Maher on for the extra point. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So here are the Eagles to take over. They lost 2 straight coming in, but good news for them right now. They've got the lead and the football. They start on the ground here at Sanders. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut it down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Down the man inside, down the man.
Wentz now on first down. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Randy Gregory. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long.
We own them. Hey, box drop, box drop.
54 is Mark.
Great.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Watch the screen.
To throw is Wentz. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 27 yards there, a first down.
Okay, what can't Deshaun Jackson do? All right, we know about the catches. We just saw another one there. Also gets involved in the return game. And he could break big plays like that. We've seen him do it throughout his NFL career.
We have. What are you thinking of anything in particular?
I'm still remembering a certain Giants punter not following orders, and Deshaun Jackson made that big-time return all the way back for a game winner in that one. I still remember seeing the looks of disbelief on the Giants sideline.
On second down now. It's Sanders. And for a second straight play, that Cowboy defense gets him to the ground behind the line of scrimmage. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's first and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Run. 10.
Check 37.
Flag.
From the gun, it's Wentz. And he whips that one incomplete there. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. And now it's second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
To throw on second and 10. Wentz. And the reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
This is caught by Jackson. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. He was trying to find Deshaun Jackson that time, but it'll be second and goal. The line of scrimmage once again the 5 as they get ready for second and goal.
Let's fight 7.
You got tight. You got tight right there.
They'll run with a former Badger. It's Corey Clement. And for a second straight play, that Cowboy defense gets him to the ground behind the line of scrimmage. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
Wentz now to throw. And he will go down. A Cowboy sack. DeMarcus Lawrence make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. And for the second time tonight, his field goal unit comes out here. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll get the second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. 10th carry now for Elliott. Oh, Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up. Loose football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Now after the fumble recovery, it's Wentz. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too. And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone could go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Wentz. And that is incomplete. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off. A 55-yard attempt, normally you'd say well within his range. A little surprised he came up short.
And he knew it immediately, didn't he? They are so calibrated, aren't they? They can tell the touch, the feel. When they put the foot to the ball, whether it's going to be good or not, he knew immediately he didn't have that one.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. Prescott now from the 50. Cooper's got it. There he goes, Amari Cooper. Touchdown, Cowboys. Amari Cooper, his first touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys have taken the lead. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Carson Wentz and the Eagles make their way out to the field. What can they do now, Charles, to make sure this highlight montage doesn't continue to show more pressure and pressure and pressure?
You feel like it always comes back to leverage, don't you? Who is going to win that battle of the offensive and defensive lines? Low man wins. We talk about that, but we think about it in a running game. Well, guess what? The same thing happens when you're trying to pass protect. Are you low? Are you balanced? Are you in a position where the pass rush won't bowl you over on their way back to the quarterback? They've got to reestablish that in order to try and keep their man upright.
Because they have been bowled over a lot so far in this one. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Oh, here we go.
Another run here with Sanders. And an alley to run. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Now Sanders, and they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Let's line two. Back.
Watch the ship.
Now they'll throw it. Wentz. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
Good starting field position for him as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. Oh, he's got some breathing room. That one good for 33 and a first.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. Looking back to Cooper's numbers from last year after that trade, he ended up playing 9 games with the Cowboys in 2018. 725 yards, 6 scores. Also had the 100-yard game in the playoffs against the Rams. And if you add up the numbers between the two... And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down.
As much football as we watch, we've seen this work many times. In the red zone, first down, take a shot at the end zone, and points result. In this case, though, give credit to the defense. They outguessed them, were prepared, and intercepted the pass.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. They'll go again with Sanders. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
Throwing now is Wentz. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. DeMarcus Lawrence has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. This guy is in a zone. Remember, he had a sack hat trick last week. That got him NFC Defensive Player of the Week. Another one right here.
I love how you phrase that, in the zone, because I'm a firm believer that like a running back, like a quarterback, when guys get hot and get locked in, the same thing happens for guys getting sacks. Their moves are working, and they're getting home and putting guys on the ground.
Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. He's had a good third quarter. He likes whatever adjustments were made at halftime, whether those were team adjustments or just him talking to himself.
And whatever that conversation was, it was pretty good because he is running really well here in the third quarter. But I like to think it is a team adjustment. Offensive line, those big escorts of his, they figured out how to block a little bit better, and he's found those holes to run through.
He has indeed. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when the next defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they look to throw. Catch made there by Derby, the tight end. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the first down. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there, and they rallied and made the tackle.
And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And this one is right down Broadway. And that moves them up by a touchdown now at 17-10. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you'll see a lot of guys sag, and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Now Wentz on the bootleg. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, And that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Going for the deep ball. And this is caught at the 20. And at the end of it, he's stripped. Ball comes loose. And it's picked up by the Cowboys. So the big gain through the air, but scratch it all off because he could not hang on to the football.
And you have to like what they did on defense here. They didn't give up on the play. Big yardage given up, but they still battled all the way to the end and helped force a turnover.
And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. Since emerging from the locker room at intermission, he's looked pretty sharp, hasn't he?
He's running in this third quarter like he got the orange slices at the half.
Oh, yeah.
You remember when
he got the orange slices, not the carrot stick.
Oh, boy.
There was always that mom, wasn't there?
There's always that mom. Wasn't yours, wasn't mine. All right, they brought the carrot sticks. But this guy, orange slices, and been reading the Surface tablet, watching the defenses, and he's made some nice adjustments.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
High throw, but the catch is made. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Prescott now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Prescott from the gun. Throw left side complete. That's Elliott. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Elliott running right. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. And credit the tackle to Derek Barnett. Prescott from the gun on 3rd. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. 1st down would have been nice, but now you get to kick the field goal, still go up 2 scores.
They tried to get it, though, didn't they? Through the pass, got the completion just short of the 1st down. But you're exactly right. Run the field goal unit out there. Kick it. Put it through the post. Go up 2 scores.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the 2nd sentence of the coach's address?
And there's so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
54, right there. 54, Mike. Hey, high 7. Run. Check 3. Flag.
To throw, it's Wentz. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Play fake to Sanders. Now here's Wentz. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with, but it's 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Wentz will try again on 2nd down. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Now Wentz again. Oh, that was dangerous. Throw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on 2nd down. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
Now a carry for Sanders. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run-blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
Throwing on 1st is Wentz. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle.
Go! Go out!
Watch your slant! Watch your slant! Watch your slant!
A first throw for the backup Kessler. He'll let this go, and it's intercepted at the goal line. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Elliott. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
12 yards there and a 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition.
Oh, Prescott stripped, but I believe a Cowboy was there to get it. He was, and Dallas will maintain possession. And now it looks like we've got a Cowboy shaken up down there on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. After the sack, here's 2nd and 11.
Here we go.
Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And that's Elliott, complete. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll kick it away for the second time. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. So now Wentz and the Eagles trailing 17-10, 2:15 remaining. And they're in danger of a third straight loss as they come up on 1st and 10. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll begin on the ground with Clement. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. Second and 9 now from the 21. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On second down, it's Sanders. Sean Lee, the Pro Bowler, there for the tackle.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Wentz. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the fourth. A 20th carry here for L.I.F.E. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. The Eagles will take their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. The Cowboys on their way to victory as they take a knee. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to kick it away. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They have time here, partner, for just one final heave.
And I have to look at it from the defense's perspective here. We know what they're going to do on offense. The Hail Mary, try and get guys down there and throw it in the end zone, tip it around and catch it. You've got to have guys back there to defend that. But also, you can't allow the quarterback as much time as he wants to set up and throw it. Maybe you bring a little extra pressure to make sure he gets rid of it quicker.
A little bit of a cat-and-mouse game. We'll see if they bring that pressure. Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still... You were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Cowboys, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the wind moves.
This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lap. Whole squad dressing all black. Every single last one of them got my back. Hey, 20 of us, that's 20 goons in them. Ice cream whip, triple school. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna play me, no conversation, ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'ma pour out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left. On a run to the bread until we all got them baguettes. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the check. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I could never switch, not a day in my life. Long as my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I could never switch, not a day in my life. As long as my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die. Game on, so it's time to go. When the rain starts, I'ma let you know. Name a squad that is better though.